Hello friends, so here Minal Verma is ready with another video, and today we are going to deal with two topics, that is autocoids and related drugs and respiratory system drugs. So I have taken the tables from the book Essentials of Medical Pharmacology KD Tripathi. So let's begin a video. The first table over here is the three types of histaminergic receptor, that is H1, H2 and H3. The table describes selective agonist, selective antagonist, receptor type, effector pathway, and distribution in the body. Usually in the examinations, the most direct questions from this table are as follows. They could ask you that dimaprit comes under which category receptor. So it is a H2 agonist drug. So it can also be asked like give the the H1 receptor antagonist. So the answer comes over here, chlorpheniramine. They could also ask which type of receptor are H1, H2 and H3. They are GPCR receptor. So this way this table becomes very important in order of these H1, H2 and H3 receptor. The next table over here is anticholinergic action shown by H1 antagonist. We know that H1 is histamine, and histamine antagonist drug which shows anticholinergic action are the following drugs. So if they ask you like high anticholinergic action shown by which of the following drugs, so you have to remember and recall yourself that the promethazine, diphenhydramine, dimenhydrinate, pheniramine and cyproheptadine comes under this category. This way this table become very, very important with respect to questions framing by in the competition exams. Next is action and subtypes of 5-HT receptor. Usually what happens, the direct question can be asked like 5-HT3 receptor is which type of receptor. So it acts through cation channel. It is a gating cation channel, elicits the reflex effects of 5-HT. So it can also be asked like renzapride is acting on which receptor. So it is 5-HT4 receptor. So this way this table is very important because question framing is very important as well as very easy for the examiner from these autocoids and related drugs. So prepare these tables very keenly. Let's see the next table, that is again action of 5-HT receptor. They could ask you that which of the following receptor act on the esophageal sphincter. So it is 5-HT4. That's why we can use this in the various like emesis. Yes, we can use this in vomiting treatment. Then comes which of the following receptor can act through enteric plexus. So it is 5-HT3 receptor. That's why we can use this in constipation treatment. This way you can interlink one table with another concepts and you can recall your problems. Next is treatment of migraine. So here it is given specific drug for a specific migraine problem. Like mild migraine, we have to use simple analgesic or NSAIDs. For moderate, we are giving a combination of NSAIDs and ergot alkaloid and sumatriptan. And for severe, sumatriptan is very necessary. Then ergot alkaloid. And for prophylaxis, these prophylaxis have been asked in earlier questions papers many a time. So you have to remember this propanol, amitriptyline, flunarizine, valproate and methotrexate. So this table also becomes very important with respect to exam. Next is biosynthesis of prostaglandins and leukotrienes. So here it is clearly mentioned that membrane phospholipid degrade. They metabolize by the action of phospholipase A and convert into arachidonic acid. Then comes the action of two enzymes, that is cyclooxygenase and lipooxygenase. The cyclooxygenase form the prostaglandins by, that is PGG2, then comes PGH2. And from these the thromboxane, prostacyclin and prostaglandin is synthesized. While for lipooxygenase enzyme act and form 12-HPETE that converts into 12-HETE. And then other leukotrienes are formed by 5-HPETE, that is leukotriene C4, B4, D4 and E4 are formed from lipooxygenase activity. So this table is also quite important. Next is action of major prostaglandins, prostacyclins and thromboxane. For example, this table could be asked in the form of application based question framing, as they could ask that bronchi dilation and histamine release is inhibition taken by which receptor, which autokite, that is prostaglandin. Or they could ask that aggregation of platelets and release reaction is caused by which. So answer is thromboxane. Next they could ask release of gonadotropins and prolactin and luteolysis is by which action. So it is prostaglandin F2 alpha. Therefore we have to use these all prostaglandins, prostacyclins and thromboxane in various diseases in order to combine with the treatment in order to have a good result. So you have to interlink this table with other various classification. Next is prostaglandin synthesis inhibition. For example, these two tables are given. One is beneficial action and one is shared toxicities. That is, they are beneficial for what? For analgesia. They show anti-inflammatory effect. They show antithrombotic effect. They are responsible for closure of ductus arterius in newborn. As well as they also share some toxicity, that is a problem created by them is gastric mucosal damage can take place, then prolongation of labor can take place, bleeding can also take place, and asthma anaphylactic reaction can be possible in some susceptible individuals. So this is very important also. Next comes NSAID site specific adverse reaction. For example, some of the most of the NSAIDs are anti-inflammatory as per our respect of view, but when we think that there are specific NSAID which are responsible for causing some reaction at some site like gastrointestinal, they cause gastric irritation or erosions. At renal, they are responsible for sodium water retention. At hepatic, that is liver, they may cause hepatic failure. At CNS, mental confusion, headache can be possible. At hematological, that means bleeding and thrombocytopenia and many more. So this is very important with respect to questions because they could ask that following are the adverse effects shown by NSAID. So you have to choose them out. Next is drug interactions with NSAIDs. So diuretics with NSAID decrease the diuresis. Then ACE inhibitors with NSAIDs decrease the antihypertensive effect. And alcohol with NSAIDs increase the risk of GI bleeding. Then corticosteroids increase the risk of GI bleeding with NSAIDs. Digoxin, lithium, aminoglycoside and methotrexate decrease the renal excretion of interacting drug with NSAIDs. That's why we have to avoid such combinations of NSAID with these specific drugs in order to prevent these of the adverse reaction. So you have to remember this tables like way that we don't need to give these specific drugs with NSAIDs. Or even if we are giving them, then the dose should be mentioned as well as it should be decreased to an amount that it does not cause any other adverse effect. Next is complications of NSAIDs. Here it is given comorbid conditions aggravated by NSAID. What does comorbid means? Actually, when a specific drug is given, it shows a specific physical condition or a psychological change. But when it is not only providing a single condition, it adds on another condition also. That is, एक इफेक्ट के साथ वो दूसरा इफेक्ट भी दे रहा है, मतलब एक से ज़्यादा इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है एक के बाद, तो ये कॉमॉर्बिड कंडीशंस कहलाएंगी. जैसे NSAIDs हमने ट्रीटमेंट के लिए दी थी लेकिन उसके कारण पेप्टिक अल्सर इंड्यूस हो गया, उसके कारण हाइपरटेंशन इंड्यूस हो गया किसी पेशेंट में, कंजस्टिव हार्ट फेलियर हो गया किसी पेशेंट में, या रीनल इनसफिशिएंसी हो गया किसी पेशेंट में. सो दीज आर द फिजिकल इम्बैलेंस कैन बी क्रिएटेड बाय NSAIDs. Then comes some important NSAID preparation. So you have to remember these brand names as Piroxicam 0.5% gel को क्या कहेंगे, Dolonex gel कहेंगे, Minicam gel कहेंगे, क्योंकि brand names are very important. There are also many other brand names given in the KT Tripathi book. So I felt these are important ones. So I mentioned this table and this. Next is site-specific treatment of cough. For example, they could ask as ACE inhibitor associated cough. So which would be the treatment for this? So it is ACE inhibitor by losartan, calcium channel blocker, NSAIDs. If it is pulmonary tuberculosis, what would be the treatment? So it is antitubercular drug. Then asthmatic cough, then we have to give beta agonist, ipratropium, meterbutaline and many more. So this way direct questions can be framed from this. So you have to learn this table. Next is drugs for bronchial asthma. So they could ask, as it was in 2021 GPAT paper, that Montelukast is acting by which method? So it is Montelukast is acting by which method, it was asked. So same way, as well as prevention of AGAB reaction could be asked, neutralization of IgE could be asked. Then answer you have to mention from this table. That's why it is very important to learn this table. Then methyl xanthine source and alkaloidal content in beverages. Like thiacinensis का source क्या है? Tea leaves है. Coffee arabica coffee seeds. Theobroma coca is cocoa, chocolate. Cola acuminata guru nuts. And this way the concentration are also asked. So you have to remember this alkaloidal concentration range. So this was all about these tables. If you like my video, and share it and comment on it and subscribe my channel, press the bell icon for further notification. Thank you.